Alrighty, welcome to the Friends Insights. I'm Graham.
I'm Emery.
I'm Carson.
And today we are going to be talking about the Wendy's paradox.
Redoing it.
Redoing it. Yeah, we had a
technical difficulty.
If you follow our Facebook page, you would know that something happened and we had to
You were promised a video several weeks, a month ago,
it was about a month.
and it didn't air because we failed.
18 gigabytes of 4K
Almost
video on Carson's phone.
almost-
just nothing.
Of nothing.
But anyways, just to start us off, let's explain what the Wendy's paradox is. So it's so I've been working at Wendy's for like almost 8 months now. In like a week, it'll be about 8 months. Yay, Graham! And I've been working jobs, whether it's like janitorial work or anything like that, since I was 14 years old. This was kind of my real first experience to the workforce.
I do remember running into you at the Apple.
Yes.
you doing here,
Everyone knows.
Graham?
Everyone's seen me from somewhere. But, it's just a pattern I've picked up on in the workforce is that people are being praised for doing just the amount of work that they're supposed to. People are being praised for that because because everyone else that they're working with isn't putting in the effort. And because of that, people are getting praised for just doing, just what their job description is because our society has become one of just being lazy and not taking pride in your work and not putting in the hard work. So I'm going to open it up to discussion.
I mean, this doesn't just have to be about Wendy's, right? 'Cause
No, it's just about the workforce.
Yeah.
I just titled it the Wendy's paradox because I learned it at
We
Wendy's.
should play that.
yeah, I've had an experience like this. I worked at a company. I'm not going to name the company. And it was I'll tell you what the company did. It was like a garage organization place. And they'd get all their stuff from China. Thank you, China. And my original job was to go in and slap orders on boxes and get them out as fast as possible. That was my job description. I was a temp worker. And then my brother was working there. And he would always come home and say, "Oh, work sucked today. I'm like, just don't complain about it, just work. And then I finally actually got to work there. I worked there the summer before a little bit, and I was okay with it. And now being older, I hated it. It sucked. It was the worst company I've ever worked for. No structure, in my opinion. And they hired teenagers that would do the bare minimum. And my job description did not say. So they started running out of items out of product. And so, for example, Walmart, if they run out of something like milk, they say out of stock, right?
Yeah.
On the website, on everything, out of stock. This company decides, you know what? Go tear apart that product and make that product. So one of the products they had was 6-bike and 3-bike. It was a bike holder. And we ran out of 6-bike a lot. We ran out of large yard as well. And they're like, okay, go take apart our 3-bike and build a 6-bike. And then make really crappy boxes, if we didn't have pre-made boxes, and tape them and ship them out. They didn't mark it out of stock, and I kind of thought that was really stupid.
Well, and
I get it's their company, but you have to think about your workers.
they're not taking pride in their work.
No.
They're not worried about quality. They're worried about quantity.
And that's wrong.
And it's
In some ways it's right, but in this way, if you run out of something, you stop.
And then we get into the issue of economics. And
Yeah.
that's just a whole fun spiel itself.
And of course, COVID didn't make it any better because they had to decontaminate the entire container. The container was at least this size to the exit door to about
20 feet here.
It was
20
a
feet.
very big container. And they hired me, and my brother was working there. They fired my brother and then fired me. And they hired some other people to go in and work. So they had my friend Thomas Wayment was working there. And then they had some other kids. One of the owner's kids was working there, and his friend was working there. very bad workers. One of them actually got way better at it, and I still talk to him to this day. He's a great guy. But me being fired, I got fired for 3 days, and I get a phone call. Hey, can you come back? And I asked why, and they're like, oh, we're behind. So I wanted to say, I kept this to myself because I wanted the job back. I said, so you want me to come back and clean up all the crap that got ruined because you decided to fire me for no reason, because they thought, oh, they fired my brother? I'm going to be mad about it. I didn't care. I said, sorry, bro. I cared, but like I wasn't going to complain about it. Yeah. So I went back, and they were 3 days behind, and those 3 days turned into 4 days. 5 days, 6 days. We were behind. And there was one day that we almost got caught up. And then that failed. And the work ethic that was there, I'm gonna call this kid James. James was very bad at working. He'd have his earbuds in, he couldn't hear you. Yeah. He'd make you go get they had other product boxes, so like they had J-hooks and stuff, and he'd like, hey, I ran out of hooks, and I would look at him and say, that's nice, what do you want me to do about it? He's like, can you go get me some more? And I'd sit there, and he'd like, did you hear me? And I'm like, oh no, I heard you, I just want you to sit with those words for a minute. Do you not see that I'm doing something else? Yeah. And you want me to stop what I'm doing and go do something for you? Yeah. And finally I decided to shut my mouth and do it. But he would do the very minimum. If he didn't have to work, he wouldn't work. Or there would be at times at lunch, he would go and take a nap in his car and then be late back to work. Like he'd be 20 minutes late.
Well,
very minimum.
And that's, as I'm sure the listener, you guys know this to be true, and we're kind of learning this, is that society is in great need of people that are just willing to put their heads down and just work. Mm-hmm. There's way too many people in this world and in society that are just willing to be lazy and to do the minimal work needed, and that's just human nature. Like I totally get. I'm sure all of us, and you guys experience this too. We don't want to do the work. No one. There's very few people that are anxiously wanting to go and do a crap ton of work. That's just not fun, and that's human nature to find the easiest way out of a situation. Mm-hmm. And it's normal to feel like you don't want to do work, but that's not really an option anymore. Of doing minimal amount of work, we got to grit up our loins. That was an old way of saying let's just put our head down and start working, because we need people that can work hard. Yeah. And just get the job done.
You know, and there's nothing wrong with being in your comfort zone.
Yeah.
There's times when you should be in your comfort zone. But it's when you step out of your comfort zone where you grow as a person.
Yeah.
And become better.
I've always tried to stay in my comfort zone, especially with jobs.
Oh, yeah.
My comfort zone is if I don't have to talk to people,
you don't do
perfect.
But
Love it so much. But I've had jobs where I've had a couple jobs where I don't have to talk to people, but sometimes I have to go talk to a person.
I mean,
that's fine.
Have a bit of social anxiety when I talk to just people I don't know. But my job requires me to talk to strangers every day.
I mean, my new job, big announcement.
Carson got a job.
I got a job. And I deal with customer service now. All my other jobs in the past have been warehouse jobs, putting together product on product lines, pulling orders. Didn't really have to talk to anybody but my coworkers, except for one job, my first job. I had to talk to people about their orders and stuff and what they wanted. But where I'm working now, I'm going to be talking to people 24/7 all the time. I'm way out of my comfort zone right now. Like, I start today and I'm super nervous.
But being out of your comfort zone will allow us to grow as a better...
It'll better me in the way I talk to people, I think. People like to do the very minimum, which is sad.
And like, even as you're saying, like, you know, I don't like talking to people. Going back to our awesome book one, the other book series, you know, the not giving an F. He's like, the second you start to accept your faults, you become more charismatic around people. because you know what you're capable of and you can go past that. But if you always doubt yourself, if you always look down on yourself, it's going to inherently be negative.
Yeah.
But the second you accept that you have faults, you are human, it's like they go away.
Yeah. But we all bleed.
Yeah.
I'm sure if Graham fell down right now, he'd
Graham,
start
do you
bleeding.
bleed?
Graham, tell me. Do you bleed? And yeah, we all bleed. We all have our faults, weaknesses. I wouldn't necessarily call them weaknesses though, because your weaknesses don't make you weak.
No.
You can turn those around and make them stronger. I always put it like I have my demons.
Yeah.
And not all my demons make me, like, some of them will make me negative and pull me down, but I can flip every single one of those around and say that demon makes me stronger.
Like, there's the idea behind that if you work at it, your weaknesses will be your strongest points.
And like, I have a weakness. I can't do math very well. I hate math, and I can't really talk to people very well. If it's a new person, like Graham, I can talk to him about basically anything. Emery, I can talk to him about anything. Mr. Durfee, who's walking down the hallway, I can talk to him about some things, depending on what it is. English homework. But if I meet a new person in public, like I'm sure when I first meet my first person for customer service, I'm going to freeze.
Your hands are going to start shaking.
And I'm going to have to quickly go through my head, hey, you need to unfreeze. You need to talk to them. You need to figure out what they want, what they need. Where do they need to go? And do you know where that item that they want is?
Well, I'm big into fitness, big worker. That's a weird term. Excuse me. I like working out. There we go.
Graham likes getting swole.
Graham likes getting swole.
Graham swole man.
Graham the swole man.
Doesn't work as well
But
as Graham the spiritual man.
there's there's a type of working out. It's called CrossFit. It's become bigger in the United States over the past couple of years. But that CrossFit Games, it sends you through a series of tests, and that's to see who's the most fittest person on earth. And the man that has won the fittest man on earth 5 years in a row. Absolutely love this guy. Love his videos. Shout out to Matt Fraser. People have analyzed how he competes, and people say that he literally has no weakness on the field. There's nothing that he is bad at. He's perfect at everything. And he talks about why he's so good, and he says that he just takes his weaknesses and he just pounds them into the ground until they become his strengths. And I think that's what Carson and Emery are talking about, is that we can't turn away from our weaknesses and continue to let them be weaknesses, because it's going to be hard to deal with them. We need to gain courage and to face our weaknesses and make them strengths. And there's another thing Matt Fraser says. He has a saying that says hard work pays off, and hard work really does pay off.
Yeah.
Work hard, play hard.
Or it's work hard, or it's work smart and work hard. Because there's this work smart, not hard nowadays.
Which is stupid.
I mean,
you can be the stupidest person in the room, but if you're the hardest worker, you're going to outwork the smartest guy in the room.
Yeah. You want to work smart and you want to work hard.
Yeah. Don't work.
And-
That's the dumbest thing.
And I mean,
I've
another
ever
key
heard.
part to jobs is, you got to respect those who are above you.
Your manager is your boss. You listen to your manager. And that's a thing that my brother kind of struggled with at the company that we were working at, is they were doing a lot of stupid stuff for no reason. And it didn't make sense to my brother. So he asked a lot of questions. And that's why they fired him, is because he was asking too many questions. And I tried to explain, when you go to work, this is what I do. When I go to work, put my head down, and if I get told to do something, I do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if I don't agree with what I'm being told to do. If I get told to put that box on top of the shelf, I'm gonna do it. Because guess what? I'm getting paid to do that.
Yeah.
So my mom explained it. I would go home and tell my mom, I hate it. She's like, just think about it. You're just taking this person's money.
Yep.
Just take their money. Take the money. You're basically just robbing them while they're not caring. And it's like, yeah, you're right. So I just shut your mouth, take their money.
Yeah. That'll do it for today, guys.
Just kind of a short episode. We just
All over
really
the place
want
a little bit.
Yeah, but basic idea is just we want people to work hard. We encourage you to work hard and to face your fears, and hard work pays off.
Come visit me and Graham at our work, at our jobs. Graham works at Wendy's.
Wendy's.
I work at Ace now, so if you guys want to come... Oh, and Emery, you have a job too.
I do have a job.
Go visit Emery. Come visit all of us.
Well, thank you guys. This will do it for today. If you guys enjoyed the video, please like. If you disliked, hit that dislike button. We like to hear your opinions in the comment section. If you really enjoyed, please consider subscribing.
Don't forget to share.
Yeah, please share.
Please share.
And remember, be good, do more, and cultivate happiness. Peace.